What is good, YouTube? It is your boy Mido. I am back. Yes, another review on Kanan. Yes, episode 4. Let's get it. Unique starts out chasing Faz G, then catches up with him, tortures him. Well, his homies torture him, but I mean, he was beaten to shit, he was getting pummeled, and then all of a sudden, you see his ear being ripped off and torn, and because Unique want to know what the fuck's going on with the setup. So Faz says, so what's going on? He started, asking him all these sorts of questions of what happened, why did you do it to me? Faz is like, no, I wouldn't do that to you, Unique. I'm your homeboy. I love you, G, I love you. And bang, he shoots him dead in the head. Oh, straight to the dome at school has been obliterated. And yeah, we go into the next sort of scene where Kanan is cooking, completely different here, and spaghetti and meatballs, and there's a little mini argument because Rack comes home with Symphony, and obviously Kanan is not happy because apparently Tuesday is the day for him and Rack to eat, and he's gone through all the effort of cooking and setting up a nice little meal. We then go to Nicole and Duke, and they're watching a tape of the mall. They're about to get down and dirty, and the mum comes in and says how good Jukebox is, and Nicole's there saying, "Yeah, I've told her she's brilliant. We need to get her signed up and stuff like that." And that comes in and yada yada, because apparently they were dancing. It was all a racket, but yeah. We then go to some real proper sex scene of Marvin fucking living shit out of Tony, strangling her and giving her a good dick, as they say. And yeah, then they sort of have Tony has a line of coke or whatever, and then they start arguing about cuddling because Marvin's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" It's just like cuddling, getting close to you before you want. It's like. And have a little argument, and then he realizes the dog hasn't been eaten, and then he argues with her, and it's like it's not really any Drake, he's not capturing any feelings, it's not exactly Marvin's room, and so he takes the dogs and fucks off. So then we have Unique kind of getting mad at his homies and asking him what the hell's going on. We need to find out what happened and why did it happen and who was really to blame, and I had to kill Faz and everything like that, and he says, "I don't trust any of you." Could have done that, say, after the shooting, but it is what it is, I suppose. Then we go back to Rack and Kay, and Rack saying like, "Don't ask me, for forgiveness. I don't want forgiveness. It's not what I'm about." I'm like, I like a dude. That isn't my problem. So, yep. And then they sort of argue about the grades and him going to weekend school, Saturday school, which is like, well, what the hell? Why? Because, you wanted to step up, but until them grades or something, you're still learning. So Camacho is in the studio yet again. He's with Famous and Famous's sister. I want to say Jacqueline, but it might be Jessica. And he's there. I didn't think the raps were that bad, but Camacho's saying, I need a bit of work, a bit of, a bit corny, and the last line was about the only decent thing with his rhymes, and Lou comes back and sees what's name hugging, and then they want to sort of arguing again. A lot of arguing in this, I've got to be honest. So, and then he's there, saying, why are you here? And it's about business, and that could have been avoided, I suppose, but it is what it is, I suppose. You see Kanan then getting closer to Davina, and sort of walking with her for a bit before he's got to bounce, and Unique seeing the kiss between her and Kay, ooh, kissing, yeah. Kay likes Davina. And then, Unique asked Davina all about, the Wiz and Book 20 and asking if Kanan's had anything to do with it. She's like, no, I don't believe he has. I don't think he would do something like that. She also let slip that, he saw him in the old stash house, which we'll get to in a few minutes. And yeah, she ends up telling the location of the old stash house. Brilliant, right? And then you go back to the arcade, and there's Famous telling Kay and Duke about the studio time. And of course, Duke gets pissed off because she can't get anywhere near the studio, and she's begging everyone for weeks, especially like Uncle Lou. And it never worked out, so she storms off. So the next bit is probably the best bit, I think. Scrappy, Marvin goes to Scrappy's apartment, knocked on the door, he's there, and he's saying, I can't come with you to stash house, I had some bad chicken or whatever. And he's like, oh, come on, dude, come on, we'll get ready. And he's like, no, it's leaking out my arse. I just thought that was brilliant. And then he closes the door. Brilliant. Thought that was really, really funny, I thought. But anyway, and then he finds, Marvin finds Kay, and he then sort of bickers with him and sort of like gets him to do the stash house. And he's like, well, along the rack doesn't find out. And he's like, no, nothing happened. And so, yeah, he goes into the car and we go to the stash house. A little bit of a side bit where Rack is buying a couple of floors for, I'm guessing, a new drug and stuff like that. So that's cool. You then have Duke having a go at Lou for about the studio time, and then she realises she don't want to owe anyone. And Lou is there thinking, yes, good mentality, very good, very mature, which is what it is. But you said they can't snap fingers and promise you anything, so why would I do that? But then also, Unique sort of following Kay and Marv to the stash house, seeing what's happening, what they're doing, and obviously he sets a plan up, so that's pretty good. You then see Duke robbing the warehouse yet again, this time on her own, and she starts to get away with a coat and a Ralph Lauren jacket, I believe, and yeah, security guard that got beat up last time lets her go and says that even Cool My ID's in the background, just before she starts, sort of thing, but ends up, it's a really good, perfect track in there for what was about to happen and happens and during and after. So Marvin and Kay start loading up the cars, and with all the cash, and move it to the shop, the bodega, as they say. And yeah, I thought this was quite good. Him teaching how stuff works, what you got to do, make them look like kind of like vegetable groceries sort of delivery in a way. So they start doing that, and then Marvin goes to the bodega for a bit to sort of, I don't really know, he sort of goes into the back and sorts stuff out there, and the owner's not too happy, so he would nick some 5 cans of dog food, obviously for the dog. He comes back, and of course we know what's going to happen next. In between that, you've got Nicole and Duke getting busy. Not really much else to say. It's not Nicole's first time. It is Duke's by the looks of it. And Nicole goes down on Duke. So next up, Unique and his boys robs the stash house. Marvin just comes back in the nick of time, starts to see it happening, and crashes his Mercedes into the van, startling the 2 goons in the van with all the money and stuff like that. He starts shooting. He misses. They get away. Now, Marv comes in the house where Kanan is being held at gunpoint. Good sort of scene this is, I thought. And then he's like, don't push me, I'll kill him. And he said, do you really know who this is? And he goes, as soon as he steps forward and says, yeah, I know. And bang, he's dead. And then the goon, for some reason, reveals his face, and Marv's, I know you're one of Neek's Leaks homies, and then he shoots him in the face and that, and then it goes all over Kanan, so he gets blood all over him and his face, and then starts puking. And then he's got to go home, clean up, and he goes home, cleans up, says his tomato pizza sauce, starts cleaning up, starts hiding the shirt, and then you see Rack dropping Kay off to the weekend school, and him finding out that it's actually Symphony teaching his history lesson. Scarface then sort of in between all this, Scarface with a dope track, Born Killer, absolutely brilliant, sort of towards the end of the scene, absolutely nails it. And then, Rack's doing the laundry, goes into Kay's room, finds everything, and then finds the bloody shirt under the bed and starts worrying and wondering. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens next. Very interested. Thought this was an absolute banger of an episode. The first episode from the torturing to the end of the episode where Rack's now find out that something's happened and we don't know what. We're probably going to assume that it's going to be the stash house. So yeah, it's going to be a very interesting episode 5. It is probably, I think it's a lot better than Ghost, Power 2. I think it's better than Power in some ways. The brutality of it, the nostalgia of the clothes, like I said before, the music is top notch. Scarface and Call My D. This one, you got Run DMC, EPMD, Mobb Deep, and all them. LL Cool J. Let's hope there's some more banging tracks. I can't wait for some more classic tunes on there. And then, yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I hope you guys are too. I know there's certain YouTubers out there that don't want to listen, don't want to watch or whatever. They're missing out. I hope you guys aren't missing out either, because it's one of the best things on TV by far at the moment. So, you know what to do. Drop a like, comment, subscribe if you want to. I am at Middo11 on Twitter. Catch your boys and ladies later. This is Middo. Mr. Thank you. Mr. You're welcome. I'm out. Peace. Switchurr.